These are the 7 mistakes that DJs still make. And the crazy thing is, many of these mistakes don't just apply to beginners but to some pro DJs as well. So in this video, I'm gonna show you these mistakes that even veteran DJs still make. Before you even step up to the decks, you've got to build your arsenal of songs. As a DJ, it's your job to research, curate, and provide nothing but the best quality tracks for a great night out. However, the biggest mistake most DJs make across the board is that they rip their songs. When you download your songs from sites that convert music from YouTube, SoundCloud, Deezer, and the like, you're doing what's called ripping music. Now I know you might be thinking, the music on these sites sound fine. If I'm getting that exact file, everyone wins, right? Well, no. When one rips songs from streaming websites, you're essentially downloading a copy of a copy. When the song's master track is created, it's done at the highest, lossless quality possible. However, once it goes into distribution, its quality is compressed further and further until you get what's on streaming sites. And a vast majority of sites online have a drastically compressed version of that master track to optimize streaming and save space. So while these tracks may sound fine in your earphones or home speakers, these tracks will sound off when played through large venue-grade speakers, especially if you mix them with properly mastered tracks. So where do you get your tracks then? Well, from online DJ record pools like BPM Supreme. There, you'll find everything you'll need, from remixes, mashups, DJ-friendly edits, and much more. Now that you've put together your library, you should be fine, right? After all, every DJ should have every song ever, according to the last person who asked for a request you've never heard of. Well, not quite. Many DJs still struggle with the problem of having too many songs. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a massive library, especially if you like to play around with different genres and decades. The problem many DJs face now is that they have too many remixes of the same track, and too many songs that actually never get played. While it's always good to be prepared, having too many songs in your library ultimately clutters your workspace. The result is you rummaging through a sea of songs without knowing what to play next. So the solution is pretty simple. As a DJ, it's your job to curate music, so actively clean up your library and do your best to only get songs you'll actually really use on the dance floor. The next mistake I still see regularly, even with some veteran DJs, is that they don't analyze their tracks. Analyzing tracks allows your software to properly integrate a song into its system. Doing so gives you important information like BPM, key, and proper auto gain. Loading a track that isn't analyzed into your software presents a set of problems. For one, it could play far louder or even far softer than your previous track. Secondly, you might not know its key, and worse, its BPM and even beat grid could be completely off. So please analyze your tracks. It's easy, and I personally recommend doing it every time you add new music into your library. So if you're using Rekordbox DJ, simply highlight your songs, right-click, and click Analyze on the drop-down menu. If you're a Serato user, simply highlight your tracks and drag them to the Analyze Files button. Next, we have probably the most common mistake in the industry: redlining. The act of redlining refers to playing music so loud that the view meters on the mixer never leave the red portion. Now, why is this wrong? If you ain't redlining, you ain't headlining, right? Well, first off, let's dispel the notion that playing louder equals playing better. When you're always playing in the red, you may think you may sound like this on your headphones and monitors. But to your audience in the professional venue, you may sound like this. So from the get-go, you're already giving your audience a distorted, probably eardrumming rupturing experience. But in addition to this, you're also damaging your equipment, which is actively trying to protect itself from blowing out. Once your speakers give, that's the end of the night, and probably your career at a club. Now the solution to this is actually quite simple. On your controller or mixer, aside from analyzing your tracks in advance, you can also adjust the trim knobs and master volume until the view meters peak at the level right below the red. Keeping them at this healthy level prevents the music from distorting and allows you to deliver the quality set you intended to. Speaking of delivering, many beginner DJs make the grave mistake of doing way too much while doing a set. Now what do I mean by too much? Well, many DJs who want to show up their A game pull up to a set and start going absolutely crazy on the decks, showing their amazing technical skills. While this may make other DJs nod in approval, fact is, your audience may not feel the same way. Look, I get it. You want to make the best impression in hopes of getting called back to flex your DJ game again. However, in a vast majority of gigs, Less is definitely more. Most audiences just want to sing, dance, and have a good time with the tracks they love. While straight mixing might seem mundane to you, the truth is, that's all it really takes to keep a floor warm. The best impression you can make is by showing how you can give everyone the night of their lives. Because the reality is, no one is going to want to hear 2 straight hours of loops, tone play, wordplay, scratching, and more. The constant changes in tempo, rhythm, and cutting of songs they'd want to sing along to will just force them to give up and go home. So, in this case, your library is truly your strongest asset. All you really need to impress the crowd is amazing song selection and smooth mixing. Another common mistake is mixing out randomly. While this follows the tenets of song selection and smooth mixing, it also manages to pull this off poorly. Imagine singing along to a club banger when this happens. There's absolutely nothing more infuriating to an audience than getting the rug pulled from under them. Many DJs, especially when unfamiliar with the track, tend to simply mix out whenever they feel like it. This means a song could get cut at odd places, such as in the middle of a verse or just as the chorus is starting. While this happening once or twice by accident is forgivable, having a set full of blends like this will 100% dampen the dance floor. To prevent this, we need to learn about song structure. While that in itself warrants its own video, we can take a quick crash course on it. So most songs follow the same formula with the following parts or phrases. There's the intro, verse, build-up, chorus, bridge, and outro. And each of these phrases normally lasts for 32 beats, making it easy to time your mixes for each phrase. For example, when you have an intro that's 32 beats long and a chorus that's 32 beats long as well, simply play your next song's intro at the start of your current song's chorus. And if done successfully, you can transition out perfectly. No random cuts or fades. Now, the worst mistake that many beginners make is not learning how to beat match by ear. They may think, why do we need to beat match by ear? Sync is right there, and I can always just match the beats on screen. While that may be true, we shouldn't rely solely on software to beat match for us. If the technology we rely on fails us, we should always be prepared. You see, DJ software doesn't always account for factors like live drums where the BPM fluctuates, and DJ software could also get the beat grids wrong. If you use sync with a track whose beat grids are off, this often happens. So to avoid this completely, you can easily practice beat matching by playing one song on one deck and using the cue button and your headphones to match the first song's beat with your second song via the tempo fader on deck 2. To prevent any temptation and to truly get good, cover your laptop or CDJ screens with a piece of paper so you're really forced to use your ears. Make a transition using only your ears, and once you're done, remove the sheet and see if you landed close to the BPM of your first track. If you did, then you've officially learned how to beat match. And that's it. Now, if you want to level up your DJ skills even further, check this video over here.